This North Fayette Valley Coach Conversation is with wrestling coach Jacob Pedersen, and we're in the early going of the season, Coach. I know you had to shuffle the schedule around a little bit, not having the Independence tournament this year, but you got the season off to a good start, winning the Jessup tournament, and you had a couple of duels this week. What's made you most pleased about your guys to this point in the season?
Oh, well, well, first of all, obviously, first week, I missed the first entire week as coaching just because of COVID, so I was out. Kids battled through. They responded well to our assistant coaches. When I got back, I'm pleased with my coaches too because when I got back, they didn't miss a beat. So I'm just very fortunate for good coaches and that team that kind of they we got a lot of upperclassmen. Actually, I don't have any freshmen. So, they knew what was expected of them. They did a good job of kind of working through it. And then when I came back, it was just pretty much I didn't miss that week because we were on to that next level. But, overall, we had a good discussion last night as a team about what we could do better, what we can do going forward, doing one step at a time. So, I just think this team is starting to gel a little bit. Win or losses right now, I think we're starting to do that.
And when you look at your dual meets the other night, obviously the results weren't what you wanted, but how do you have to judge these dual meets early on in the season with probably not a lot of off-season work? Do you have to grade them on a curve a little bit? Do you have to just look at it individualistically as in the realm of that team aspect? How do you go about judging things this time of year?
Obviously, as a coach, it is frustrating. Uh, Something I got to start learning is to just channeling it a little better. Obviously, 10th year in the program, I haven't had a season quite like this, and then you had COVID on top of it. It's just something you're not used to. Definitely Tuesday night I took hard, but after that, talking to my AD a little bit and kind of changing my mindset is just focusing on that core. Those duels right now, we're just not exactly that dual team where we're just gonna win duels. We're gonna be spotting teams right now, roughly 24 to 32 points just on forfeits. 106, 113. There's nothing I can do at this point. I hardly have a kid in walking the hallways in the high school right now that weigh that. Then let alone even wrestle before. So there's no expectations for them to even come out and even maybe to lose a couple pounds to get those weight classes. But I think the big focus is right now on the individuals, make sure they are doing what they need to be doing, and not worry about those forfeits. We got to I talked about the battle and the wars. Hey, and this win the battles. We might not win the war at the end of the night, but we got to win those battles. And that's all those individuals out there. And again, wins and losses. We like winning, but we also know some of those losses teach us some good lessons. But it was good because Cresco is one heck of a team. They've got a solid team. They're ranked in the top 10 right now, and to be honest, they might be they're going to be running in for a duel and a trophy at the team tournament. I think they're definitely going to be in the running. So we definitely faced a tough competitor. So those results on paper don't look good, but I thought we had a lot of good fight from kids that did wrestle.
And you talked about the core, those guys in your core. A lot of them have gotten off to good starts. Champions at Jessup and a couple of wins the other night in your duel against Crestwood and North Butler and Clarksville. As for the progression of the core, are they where they need to be at this point?
I would say we want to be further. You always want more at this time. It's going to take time. It's hard to gauge just after 2 nights. Getting the weight under control for a few of them, and just getting the where we want to be. It was very difficult, me missing a week and then coming back and then having, if I could have rescheduled things a little bit different, I would have definitely wrestled Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, girls on Friday, Saturday, boys. I definitely would want that schedule to look a little different because right now, I obviously think conditioning is one thing we need as a team. It's hard to get a lot of conditioning in the day before you wrestle someone because you don't want to wear those legs out and you want to show a lot of technique, but you also got to get kids kind of down to weight a little bit, and you just can't focus on a lot of technique at those times, especially right after a meet. You know, take notes and you got a lot of things you want to work on. So it'd be nice. It's going to be nice next week when we're going to have a good 3 days before we have a duel, so we can practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and focus on a lot of those different aspects.
So in other words, you're doing a lot of on-the-job training right now. Would that be a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I mean, right. It's good though. I mean, I tell my kids all the time too. It's the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter if we win the Jessup tournament or whatever. The biggest prize is definitely at the end of the year, and we need a peak at that time. And they got to trust the process, trust us coaches, because we will get them to peak at the right time of the year. So that's the process that we're going by. I mean, yes, we would like to win everything we can. Everyone has those aspirations, but the biggest thing is the prize at the end.
And you're looking at that core that you've got overall. Again, you might struggle a little bit on the dual meet end of things this year, but in a tournament setting, you got a lot of guys that can score a lot of points.
Agreed, we do. And I forgot to mention, I do have 3 kids out still with football injuries that are going to actually fit right in. I have one that's waiting for a descent plan to come down to 70 that, well, he's a conference champ for me, senior Chase Cooley. I'm excited about him getting in the lineup, but we're just waiting for that descent plan. He's just stuck behind Rogers at 82. So, I mean, we'll try and dual-wise getting him as much as we can by moving guys around a little bit. But, I mean, I got Caden Kerr that has a kneecap issue right now that he's going to be available after Christmas break. And then I got another sophomore that I'm pretty excited about that's going to be fitting somewhere in the lineup. And we're just waiting after Christmas break to pretty much get those 3 guys back. And that should solidify a little bit more our dual team. We should give up some less points there a little bit. However, it just seems like a very long wait at this point of kind of going through a lot of this. But I'm excited. I mean, we're going to continue grinding, and we're going to accept those guys and be happy when they're back. And hopefully we can pull something together once we come back from break.
How hard is it for you personally teaching yourself that patience? Because I know you're a competitor. You want to get as much success early on as possible, and everybody in the sport of wrestling does as well. But how hard is it for you to maybe teach yourself that patience?
Truly, it has been hard. I mean, like I said earlier, I had a discussion with my AD, and it 360. I mean, it was a great talk. She was amazing in that talk. I needed it. I needed it from an outside source. She saw my frustration on Tuesday night and talked me through some things, and I appreciate what she had to say. She made sure she told me it. She goes, "You're just not gonna make them. You're not gonna fix things overnight. It's gonna take time." And that's what I've kind of dialed in on, is one step at a time. I think I've pretty much almost changed that model with my team right now, one step at a time to get to where we want to go. I mean, to reach our goals. And yeah, I mean, again, to reframe, I'm very frustrating. It is. I mean, going back to my younger years, to when I was elementary all the way up to high school, through college, to even coaching these teams. This is my 10th year. So 9 years of coaching. I have a lot of firsts, and it's a struggle. And well, we'll see how this year goes and see if I can conquer this and turn things and kind of get the ship right a little bit, because the big thing is about getting some more kids out for this sport. And I don't have any freshmen at this point, and that's the thing I've never really had to do. Kids came out for the sport of wrestling for me. And I don't know if I'm just getting older and not connecting as well as some of these kids with all their hip new stuff, or something like that. I don't know if that's what it is, or I don't know personality wise what it is, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to fix this. And hopefully we have NFE back to where we obviously want to be.
All right, Coach, here's wishing you and your team, first of all, good health here in 2020. That's the most important thing. And there's going to be some bumps in the road, but hopefully it'll be smooth traveling eventually for your squad. We wish you best of luck.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Darren. Continue doing great things for, obviously, the sport of wrestling. I appreciate it, and I know everybody else does.
Jacob Pedersen for the North Fayette Valley Tigerhawks.